Elizabeth, and I run Elizabeth Training uh, Limited, which is stress-free data analysis, both qualitative and quantitative. Now, in this video, I am going to show you how to use framework analysis. Some of us will call it APA methodology. This particular method was designed by Jean Ritch and Liz Spencer, both from NatCen company, an independent social research agency. Now, this particular method, I think we probably have seen it, majority of us, you have some kind of an Excel view to it where you have the very first row with the column with the rows being the names of the document, and then the columns will be the themes that you want to then explore case by case, meaning each document row is a case, so you have case by case summary. So in short, it's about opposite to NVivo, the way we handle NVivo data, where we use the verbatim data, but here you read it, you summarize it, and then you put what you think they're saying very, very close, because you have to show some evidence into the cell. Let me stop talking and show you around how to set it up and where this framework is located in NVivo. Now, I'm going to work with 8 documents, and I've chosen these documents from the NVivo sample project, which is the multi-method sample project. I've chosen it so you can have access to it because it comes with the NVivo software and you can play with it to your heart content. So that's why I've chosen this public data. So I've got 8 documents here, and I've created a folder from the files called documents. So that's what you see. In addition to that, because I want to also bring in the classifying data, meaning the attributes, I have converted this information into cases. So here we have them as cases, and I've given the cases access to the demographic classification. So here we go with that classification. I've only put in 2 attributes, gender and age group. If I were to double click on the demographic table, you will see that I have assigned 8 documents to gender and the age group. That's all there is. I've done. Now, in addition to this structure, the third is also I have auto-coded the document, the original document. Let me show you how it looks like. We have 6 questions. Question number 1, they are all of heading 1. Question number 1 all the way through to question number 6. You saw question number 3 moving up, question number 4, question number 5, and question number 6. So I'm pretending that this is a document, even though it's an interview. But we once you understand it, you'll be able to do it, transfer the knowledge to your own document processing. Okay, so initially what I did is that I highlighted the whole 6 documents, and I went for autocode and coded them under heading 1. So that then allowed me to have access to the titles of the questions without having to type them. So this is where I have stored them. Under the coding, I have created the questions here as my codes that I would then use for the framework matrix. So it's all done and dusted. Let's go on with how to do it. So if you join me at the note taking area, which is under the case, we have the notes, and inside the notes, we have the framework matrices. So I would open it up and create a new framework matrix. So I will call this one case by case doc analysis. That's perfect. And so we have the row and the column to dress up. Now with the row, it tells you that row by row is case by case. So I have to go and select the 8 cases. So by clicking on the select, I can now come in and pick up on all the 8 cases and then click on OK. So I've sorted that out. Now on the right hand side is the attribute, and I've created 2 attributes. So I'm going to bring them in. So you click on the select and then open drop down on the demographic table, and then you have gender and age group, and then you drop them in. Now I've got them in as age group and gender. If I insist the gender should go up, then I'll highlight the gender, and these 2 arrows, you can use them to take things up and down the way you want. So I've done it just the way I want, gender and then age group. Okay, right then. So now let's go to the column tab. Here is where I'm going to bring the titles of the column that I'm going to analyze the data under. So the 6 questions which I auto-coded into the node area, I'm going to bring them. So you click on the select and straight away I go into the nodes, and then when I open the plus sign here, I created a folder called responses, and there you have it. These are the titles. I'm using the titles for the framework. I'm not touching any of the automatic coding. It's just the titles. So I've got them to set up my framework matrix table to then do the case by case analysis into it. So I am all done, ready to go. So you click on OK, and then we wait for the Excel looking and the word on the side document. I'm going to squash this NVivo folder system away so I can give myself space and show you what's happening. Now, this is a table of Excel looking. So if you can see what's going on, we've got columns. There is a slider here that controls the Excel table. The column A is the names of the document. So here, the very first one starts with William. I could have just changed it so it goes alphabetically, but that's not an issue. I've got William. If I want to go down, you can see I'll get all 8 of them one after the other, and each person's assignment in terms of the 2 attributes will be listed here, so you know exactly who you're talking to, or you reading the report. And also, if I take you to the 6 questions, column A, column B, with the title of the question, so you know exactly what you are reading. So all of that is set up perfectly in the matrix. It's all set up, 6 questions. So we will start with William being the first document or the first case. You notice that by default, the software then bring William's transcript on your screen. So you could see that I've got William transcript. The question number 1 is where I'm starting. And as I move through it, I will get all 6 questions and what he is saying, and then put them in my own words. You have to read, understand what they're saying, and you summarize it in your own words and put them in. It's very quick to do, and it's very useful way of getting so much information to condense it into the most important message that they're saying. It's completely different from NVivo style of coding. So here I will put the cursor in the first cell, and then I will start from the beginning of question number 1. I'm interested in what William is saying about his connection to the Down East. So my job is not to drag and drop, because this is not NVivo. You can't do that. You have to read it, and then you make up your mind what William is saying. So obviously a number of questions or clarity were made by Henry to get William to say everything that he knew to say about his connection before we move on to question number 2. So there is a bit of reading here, and so you will have to read. I haven't got the time to read everything and explain to you what I'm going to say, so I will just do very basic show and tell. So right here, in fact, what is he saying? Oh, he's a homeowner. I own my house here, there. Right then, I'm just going to put very basic information. I'm just doing, Blue Peter thing here, just show you how to. So in case I've already read it and I put my information somewhere, or I stand on my feet and type it, I will put what he's saying and then keep typing whatever information that I've read. I'm going up and down, making sure that what I'm saying reflects on exactly the verbatim account of William on the question number 1, which is his connection to the area. And so when I think I've had enough, and what I've got here, I will read it to make sure that it sits very well with what he's saying. Then the next thing is I need to show transparency where I got this interpretation from. So obviously I will pick up on all that bits of information and then connect it. It's actually Control L, but I want to show you where I learned that Control L from. This information, I want to connect it to this to show transparency that I got this from here. So I want to right mouse click, having selected where I think I got it from, and then I will go into the links and then summary. You notice that in the future, all you need to do is to do Control L instead of coming down left, right, which is very time consuming. So I've already done it. We move on to, remember, whenever you come here and you click, you get the popular highlight to tell you that this information is coming from here. It's not coming from question number 1, question number 2, but it's just question number 1. Have a go at it. You will love it. You may want to use this even for literature review, having your PDF here, reading the kind of areas that you want and then summarizing them in. Can you just imagine you doing that? Very, very elegant. And you can get on with so much done. So likewise, I'll go to question number 2. And this time the question is connection to Down East natural environment. What is your take? And then William goes, I enjoy this place so much, whatever. So I'm just doing exactly the same Blue Peter approach. And I'll stick it in here. And then I think I'm done. So this time I'll highlight where I got the information. It can be the whole lot. It can be whatever pieces that I want. So that's question number 2. And remember, it's Control and the letter L. You don't need to memorize it. You can just right mouse click and do it. So I've finished question number 2. I will go to the slider and do question number 3. And so I move on to question number 3. The question is professional perspective of the Down East. What do you think? And so likewise, you keep doing until you finish all the 6 questions. And guess what? Once you finish the first case, you don't need to do anything. We programmed the system to do it. You click on case number 2. Can you see, before even I click, I'm hovering over that cell, which is row number 2, and it tells me Robert is an S1. Boom. Guess what? Robert's document automatically opens up. This is Robert's, this is his document, and you start going through the same process. So you finish Robert, you go on to the 3rd one, you finish Thomas and you keep going. It's only 8 of them. And when you finish all of this, it's so beautiful. You can literally import or export this, not import, export this framework outside, and you will see the beautiful table in Excel. Done it all. So if you want to summarize everybody's saying on question number 1, that is a row, isn't it? You go down this way and you pick it up and you can get the report done. So to export it, this is what you do. You just click, can you see it's an MS, MS Excel format. And I don't need to show you everything because you're going to save it and then open it up in Excel if you want to take a look at it. I hope this will be very useful. If you want me to explain a bit more to you, I'm putting it on the YouTube. Just get back to me and I will take you through it. So take care. Thanks for watching.